And we are live. Hello everyone. How's it hanging? Hopefully I can figure out how to get this shit to work in the first like half hour. Usually takes me about that long, whenever I live stream. So, hey look, there's chat. Very cool. Oh geez, it's speeding up. Alrighty, I'm just gonna wait a minute so everyone can get on in. In the meantime, I should mention that this episode is sponsored by Red Bull. Red Bull, it gives you things. Yeah, they usually like to do their marketing with the extreme types, and everyone knows I'm up there with that fucker who jumped out of the atmosphere, so it's not actually sponsored by Red Bull. I know like one of you is gonna believe it, so don't. Anyway, you may have noticed that what you're staring at right now is not in fact a drawing or Q&A, and that is because while I was preparing for this, I was absentmindedly going through some photos from like my 14, 15 age, like years ago, and I found some screenshots, and then I remembered that I used to play Spore a lot, and so I've decided to revisit some of my most prized creations from my late middle school, early high school gaming career, those being my Spore creature creations. Chat's going too fast. It's very hard to say what you guys are saying, but loser who plays Spore. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Spore's a terrible game. All in all, once you get past the initial bit, the only redeeming feature is the creature creator, and that's how I spent like 90% of my time playing this. Oh yeah, that's right. I can slow down chat by putting that one thing, right? It's like, where is it? Oh man, I remember doing this last time. Here we go. Settings, enable slow mode. Limit chat posts to every, let's do 90 seconds per person. Done. Okay. So in a moment it'll probably lose velocity a little bit. 313 watching, that is not bad at all. That is far too many people who should be watching my middle school Spore creations, but that's fine, we're doing it anyway. So I wanted to take you all through these one by one, alright? Here we go. So this first one is the only one that I actually like played the game with. His name is Dickface McGinty. This is what he looks like, you know, pretty standard fare. Your average everyday six-legged crane beast. You know, nothing special. And then I got a little more creative with him as time went on. This one is a Lobster Crocodick. I spent a lot of time on the titles, as you can tell, and I think it sums up this guy pretty well. You know, he's got his peepers up here. He gets a good lay of the land. He's got a periscope. He's a private investigator. You know, 6 legs for proper locomotion, and you know this feeding tube down below, strictly for feeding. That's an efficient creature if I've ever seen one. This one's called Clam with Legs. I think the name sums it up pretty well. It's a clam. He's got legs. He can get around. Does everything a clam does and more on account of the legs. This one here. Also, don't mind if you hear like screaming college kids in the background. I'm in a dorm right now. Just don't pay attention to it. This right here is a jalapeno pepper. Pretty self-explanatory, in my opinion. We can make them dance, I think, if I recall. Check that shit out. Yeah, that'll get you going. This is a more light-hearted take. Those last ones were a bit twisted, but this one's kind of heartfelt. It's called Friendship. You see, and they're together forever, staring into each other's eyes longingly. They share a food sack. Oh, God bless me. I don't really know how this one works mechanically. I think it's kind of a cat-dog thing, where like if this head eats, then this head like shits it out, and vice versa. To my knowledge. But yeah, very Doolittle-ian. Make them dance. Honestly, 14, 15, that's when I peak. It's all been downhill from there. Here, let me take a look at chat. Oh yeah, I need to check my tweets, that's right. I forgot I told people to do that, yeah. I'll just look at tweets for like what people are saying. Chat's just too much of a cluster. Okay, there's this guy named Sam O'Meme. He's stealing my identity. He stole my profile picture. I don't approve. Anyway, on with the show. I'm trying as hard as I can not to burp like obnoxiously for your sake and mine. So this is my personal favorite out of the group. This is Penis Arm Big Bird. So, you know, he navigates like a bird, but, you know, if anything a bird lacks, it's dexterity, articulation, you know. And, you know, birds are usually pecking on the ground for seeds and such, so now he's more efficient. He can just pick them right off the ground, scoop them up into his beak. Check this shit out, ready? It's sentient. It has a mind of its own. The bird has a bird brain, but the hand has the mind of a genius. It is calculus in the dirt. This next one is titled Aroused Chimp. So you can see he's just a chimp, you know, average every day, but he's getting a little excitable down over yonder. You know, it kind of looks around with him. We can make it scream, I think. Good intimidation factor. I'm sorry. What what if it was the middle of the night in like a city block, like 2 a.m. and you're walking home from like a bar or someplace, and you just see this fucker crab walking at you backwards? Anyway. This next one is titled Pregnant Dragon. You know, it's up there. It's a dragon. It's pregnant. It floats. Fits all the criteria. This one's called Dog Boobies. It's a dog and it's also boobies. And yeah. That's what he is. We can make him dance. And this is the Edosphere. This is basically just every mouth in the game thrown into one model, and I just did it for shits. We can make it scream, I think. Wait, where's the scream button? That's fucking terrifying. Okay, anyway, enough with that shit. Time to go to GIMP and do what I've promised. Oh my god, people are actually sending stuff to Super Chat? That's the thing that happens? I don't watch YouTube streams ever. I just turned it on because it told me to. Mason Codes says, "Slab on my knob like corn on the cob." My favorite song of 5 years ago. Shadow of Colossus 103 says, "Has Swiss Miss addressed your criticisms?" No, they have not. I'm still waiting back on that. Poor PR on their part, in my opinion. They're just sitting on their piles of powdery cash while us laymen suffer the consequences, and I really won't stand for it any longer. Also, what are you doing for college? I'm doing chemical engineering. Real exciting, right? But enough about that. Time to draw some shit. Okay, first I need to get my my folder open with all my cutouts so I can just drag a Sam in instead of drawing it. Give me one moment. In the meantime, while my desktop takes forever to load, I can look at some tweets. Tommy says, "Why does my girlfriend like you more than me?" What's her number? Aw, I like you, Tommy. You look radical. Wait, never mind. He has a picture of him with a guitar in his profile picture, but I clicked on it to get a closer look, and it's a Guitar Hero guitar. Or I think that's Rock Band technically, but same difference. Jeremiah Jojo says, "Whatever happened to the old channel?" I assume you're referring to my personal channel, the one with like shitty memes that I made years and years ago. Nothing happened to it. I still use it to like watch videos. It's just there's no point in putting stuff on there now that I have what I have now. Academy Mega Folder. There we go. Image chunks. I gotta make a new folder specifically for this one. And yeah, that's right. I haven't started drawing for this one yet, even though I said I finished recording it 2 weeks ago. Because I am a lazy piece of shit. I don't want to give away what it is. I'll just like let you guys kind of figure it out based on my drawings. Making the folder. Okay. Photo myself in the folder. This is all, I don't think you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure it's just showing the GIMP window right now. That's probably for the best. Okay. We are in business. Let's look at a couple more tweets. I'm skipping all the ones that are like spam or just like random JPEGs in case you people are feeling sad about me not mentioning you. The Lone Courier says, "Hey Sam, I found your videos a while ago." Oh, that's just, oh, you're sweet. He said he loves me. Macrobyte says, "How come your voice doesn't sound like your YouTube voice?" Well, that's very simple. That's because when you're doing a narration, it's entirely different from regular talking to people. For example, when you do a narration, you gotta pitch up your voice every 6 or 7 syllables or so it really sounds like whatever you're saying is interesting and fascinating. Additionally, you're gonna want to speak a lot more slowly, so that way you can articulate what you're saying properly and it'll be easier to understand. Also, when you speak slowly, you get 1 more little minute of video out, comparatively, and that boosts ad revenue. It's a trade secret, don't tell. No, not really. Um, Hunter Minerly says, Sam, do you want a chocolate shake? I'll mail you one in a package. Yes, please. Don't refrigerate it either. They get better with age, like wine. The Dank Vault Dweller says, are you a fan of Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd? Or I'm 14 and this is deep. No, it's a good album. It's very strange at points, very abstract, and that's actually what I like about it. Um, but you know, same with any stoner that was ever born. Okay, anyway, drawing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one like frame completely before looking at tweets again, because what happened last time is I would draw like a line and then be so distracted by tweets that I just like reply to those for 10 minutes and not actually get anything done while doing the stream, because part of this is like, you know, I want to prove that I'm actually working on shit for once. So let's have at it. Here we are in GIMP, my workplace of choice. Gotta get OBS out of the way. One sec. If I shrink the GIMP window, is it gonna fuck up this? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, hold on. Okay, don't shrink GIMP. Don't shrink GIMP. Okay, here we go. That's me. That's the man. That's the Sam. I'm gonna put him right in center frame, standing there. And he's gonna be waving and greeting the viewers lovingly, openly. Get a nice little, hey kids. That arm's a little too long, disproportionate. We need to redo it. Hey kid. It's a little too close to his head. We need to redo it. Still a little weird. And yeah, now that I'm streaming, I'm realizing like how anal I am about these like little things, like how I'll redraw a line like 30 times. I don't notice it while I'm doing it. That still looks too long. Hold on. Hey kids. It's wiggly. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Hey kids. Alright, that's good. We can export that bish. And I don't think you guys can see the export folder either, so that's behind the scenes, so that way you don't see any names. Episodic assets, slides, create folder, confidential name. I'm going to title 1 underscore heykids.jpg. .png, I lied. Gotta get that lossless compression. And now, I forget the next thing I say, so I need to pull up the script to the video so I know what the hell I'm drawing. But in the meantime, that's one slide done, so time to look at some tweets. Vincent Hernandez says, Stormcloaks or Imperials? That's an interesting question, actually. My first playthrough, I was all about the Stormcloaks, because, you know, I was a young, ignorant, rebellious teenager, and I was all about throwing down that establishment, and I thought, you know, they're rebels, so they must be good. But the more I played it, the more I realized a couple things. Number one, the Stormcloaks, their rhetoric is highly racially charged. They're all about taking back their homeland for themselves, you know, white people who really aren't that superior to the others, the Bretons, the Imperials, other, whichever, there's a fourth one that I'm not remembering. But, yeah. And then also, furthermore, really the Imperials aren't the enemies. They're just trying to keep the status quo. It's those Thalmor fucks, those squinty yellow elf bastards, and I understand that's, you know, That sounds a bit racist, but nonetheless, they actually deserve it because they're manipulative fucks. And somebody's totally gonna take the line of Meek saying "squinty yellow elf bastards" out of context. But yeah, they're the real enemies in the situation, and I think if you were to overthrow the Imperials, it would just cause more problems for the people of Skyrim. So, despite the fact that they are in the Thalmor's pocket, I think the Imperials are the way to go. Luke Sumberg says, how many licks does it take? Anywhere between 7 and 7,000. All depending on how cat-like your tongue is. Jim Ping says, how many ants could you eat in an hour? This is like one of those interview questions, job interviews, where they're trying to judge your critical thinking skills, right? So let's puzzle this out. I'm going to assume for this scenario that I don't need to hunt down the ants, that they're the volume is presented to me. Now, ants, very small creatures, and most ant-eating critters out there, they eat them with their tongue, lapping them up because it sticks. That seems like a very effective method to eating ants, so I think I would do the same in this scenario. So I think I could fit probably, if we're talking standard American house ants, I could probably fit like 100 on the surface of my tongue with one dab. And to chew and swallow that mouthful will probably take me 10 seconds. So that's 600 ants a minute times 60. That's 36,000 ants in an hour, I would say. This guy with a bunch of odd characters as his name says, Salmonella, how do you keep yourself from ending it all? Well, that's a tough question, Brandon. I don't know why I just called you Brandon. You look like a Brandon. Just keep your head up high, Being a YouTuber helps, I guess. You should try that. It's very fulfilling. Trying to find one that I can properly answer. Sam O'Meem says, favorite fruit/cookie. Now I'm going to take that slash as an or. But I'll answer both anyway, just 'cause I like you, Sam O'Meem. You got a good face on you. You got a good name. Favorite fruit? I'd actually have to... Probably pomegranate, just 'cause I find them very satisfying to eat. The little jellied seeds. If somebody can make an an invention to strip the jelly off of pomegranate seeds, so I can eat like just the pure flesh and not have to spit the whole things out, they would make millions. That would change my life forever. Favorite cookie? White chocolate macadamia has always been my personal favorite. Pepperidge Farm Tahoes. That's the way to go. Oh man, I'm getting DMs too. I should probably look at those. Oh man, I'm becoming inundated with inbox messages. Caleb Combs says, "What's poppin', dog? My cysts." Danny says, "Hey dude, what's you favorite cereal?" Probably, there's a lot of cereals, man. That's highly... Oh man, and now that I said I should probably check DMs too, like 80 of you fuckers just sent shit to me all at once. Oh no. Anyway. Favorite cereal. I know you guys are dying to know. This is real pertinent information. Probably Lucky Charms. Back in my high school days, I used to do this thing that I called the Breakfast of Champions. What it was I put dry Lucky Charms in a bowl and then fill it up with 7 Up instead of milk and then eat it. And I have no regrets. Okay, now it is time for slide number 2. Okay, he's gonna put his arm down between, like, while speaking before the topic appears in the right. So I'm gonna count him putting his arm down as slide 2. Slide 2. Okay, that's slide 2. Really getting a lot of work done here. More tweets. Kriaku says, "What's your fursona?" So my fursona is like Alex Jones, except instead of a human, he's actually a gay frog. Frogs don't typically play much of a role in the furry community as they lack fur. They're more of a slimy or a slippery than a furry, but I feel it is a niche market. I would ask you guys to stop DMing me, but that's probably just going to make you DM me more, so keep them coming, I suppose. Danny replied, "Fucking Lucky Charms and 7-Up, mate. You fucking disgust me, mate." And I guarantee you he's not British. He's just using mate because it makes him feel edgy on the internet. But I'm guilty of the same thing, so. Holy shit. The Dank Vault Dweller just sent me like a whole paragraph. Apparently he went to the Dominican Republic to build a house for a family. You are far more noble than I. I briefly thought about doing something like that. Briefly. And I actually felt good about myself for even considering it. And that was enough for me. It's like that Louis C.K. bit about giving the plane seat to the soldier. Alright, Dank Vault Dweller. I'm sorry everyone, I can't read like all of these. I'm getting DMs. You let me down, Sam. It's sorry for the dead air. It's just taking me a while to sift through all the irrelevant shit. Wolfstock55 says, "Hairy nips are natural, right? Because my friend has them, and I think it's weird." I don't understand your logic here. You're saying they're natural, but then you're saying your friend has them and you think it's weird. Personally, I would think they are natural among males, if we're talking, those of the XY persuasion. Yeah, I can't, I'm like hairless like a fucking mole rat with cancer, so my nips are perfectly hairless, except for occasionally I'll have like one long single hair that'll come out of it, and like I'll pay attention to it because it's like so shocking, and I'll kind of groom it and just let it. I got it to about like 3 inches once, which doesn't sound like much, but like picture like your dick, right? That's like 5, 6, so more than half of that length as a nipple hair. I think that's impressive. Hope to God. Never mind. Armaz says, "You can have dinner and bone anyone in history. Who would that be?" Probably, Eleanor Roosevelt, like, before she got ugly. Esteban says, is the Red Bull taking effect, or you're like that every day? No, I'm pretty much like that every day. It's just I keep it inside most of the times. That's why I like these streams that I do once every 2 months. Lets me air my grievances. Jim Ping says, favorite Ozzy Osbourne song? Mr. Crowley. No question. That song's a fucking masterpiece. Mr. Crowley. Alright, I'll do like 2 more, and then I'm gonna go grab another Red Bull from the fridge. Which, I'm not, like, insane. These are only 8 fluid ounces. That's, like, nothing. If you watched my Swiss Miss video, you'd know that that's... Actually, I think those are 6 ounce, but same difference. I'm not here to argue metrics. I'm here to kick ass. Oh, I like this one. I like questions... Ow, fuck. Yeah. Side note, I should mention that So, Friday the 13th is real, I discovered. If you all recall, that was now 2 days ago, technically, since we've passed... Or 1 day ago, depending on your time zone. I was in class, and I was feeling bored, so I was doing that... I was cracking my back in such a way, like, you know how when you twist... It's like you keep your legs and pelvis stationary, and you just twist your whole upper body, like, with the chair to help. And I always make my back crack, like, disgustingly, and everyone looks at me like I'm a fucking freak. But I got a little overzealous doing it that day. Ended up straining an intercostal muscle, which is jargon for I fucking ripped the meat in between 2 of my ribs. So now my back hurts really bad every time I move a certain way, to the point where, like, it like makes my muscles contract involuntarily, and, like, I can't, like, talk or breathe. It's pretty bad. Of course, I've never even, like, broken a bone, so it's probably not, you know, that serious. I'm just a pussy, but I'm fine. Okay, 1 more question. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to answer this one. That Made Me Think, by Aya Dravis. He says, pubes for teeth, or pubes for teeth, or teeth for pubes. Now, pubes for teeth would impede me in my everyday life, because I use my teeth 3 times a day, maybe 4 if I decide to bite a bat head off or 2. Whereas teeth for pubes, I think I would get more value out of that than, you know, dysfunction, because, you know, the number of females that I get normally versus the number of opportunities I'd have to show people my weird, like, toothy groin, it just adds up. Like, I get a lot of joy out of showing people that randomly, so it wouldn't impede me much. So I'm gonna go teeth for pubes. Yeah. Anderson French. Yeah, I mentioned him before. His original comment wasn't a question, but I'll read it anyway. He goes, hook me up with some sweet Indian bitches, please. I'm lonely. It's a bummer. I think, Anderson, if you believe in yourself, and you believe in the power of Shiva and Vishnu, then, and if you have enough money to pay for the dowry, then you can get all the Indian females your heart desires. And I firmly believe in you. Okay, I'm gonna grab another Red Bull. From the mini fridge. Oh god, I'm so sorry. I just had my headphones in my hands without there. Okay, and we're back. A daily reminder, this video is sponsored by Red Bull. Red Bull, it gives you ping. That's why gamers drink it. Okay, next slide. so I need to draw the ancient medicine man, Galen, for this, and I need a reference image, so I'm gonna go, actually I can, no, phone is for sweet, so I'll look this up real quick. Galen. Okay, so I'm gonna drag the reference, he looks like a fucking dip, I love it. I'm gonna drag the reference image into the frame just so you guys can see. So that's what he looks like. Upstairs he's got that Napoleon, that late era Napoleon going. Downstairs he's got the lumberjack, and in the middle he's got those soulful puppy dog eyes. What a beautiful man. Time to turn him into a disgusting stick figure. Alright, so we're gonna use our 10 point, that's what we do for our limbs. We're gonna do like, and the way I do it is I do the body as one thing, and the second leg descends from that. And again, I only, being that I release videos once every like 2 months, I like forget how to draw my own characters every time, so it takes a bit to get back into that groove of things. Get an arm. Medicine man, Galen. And I'm going to bring the point down for the beard. Actually, I'm going to get the head first. He's got a very like round vertical head, so I'm going to kind of reflect that. You know, normally my characters are wider than they are tall, but I'll make him about even. So like something like that. And his jaw is kind of, he's got a bit of a jawline, so like I can kind of reflect that. Like, yeah. A little less. Okay, a little too wide. Seems to be a little taller, hold on. Alright, a little too big. It still looks kind of oddly big. That looks about right. Actually, it's a little, I need more of a jawline. Sorry. I'm slowly realizing how like piss poor this is as like viewing material, but bear with me here. Yeah, that'll do. Alright, and so I'm gonna slap some eyes on him. Gotta get them nice and wide apart to get that that Mong look. That's about right. He's got kind of a pouty. Bring that point down a little. There we go. And one thing, I'm not sure if you guys noticed this, I only ever draw noses when it's a specific person that actually existed that I'm trying to like replicate the look of, because though it's not in my default style, it's very hard to give like distinguishing facial features with that much limitation. So like it just makes them look more distinct as who they are. So he's got a very sharp nose. It's gonna be like about a line, and then get a some of that. That looks good enough. Maybe make this a little more linear. Yeah, that looks more, maybe put a little hook here. Okay, now he just looks like a fucking ghost bat now. Yeah, that looks about right. Alright, so let me get that dippy little, whatever the fuck this is, up there. So there's his hair. Then I need that sweet luxurious beard. So his mustache kind of descends like this, and then it comes up over here. And we're gonna erase this outline so I can have it descending nice and beautifully. And the outline's gonna look weird if I don't smooth it here, so just gotta... Okay, that looks weird. Here, give me a sec. Fucking... Good enough. No, you know what? That's gonna look weird if I don't do the whole outline, that thickness. Let's just... Yeah, there we go. Alright, let me get that sweet, delicious beard, and I forget what point this is. I think that's like 3. Shit, hold on. 3.00. Alright, cool. And it comes down very curlily. And like kinda... Like, let me get some of this neck out of the way. It's very luxurious in the front. And there we go. Now we just need to add a little color. Make his face white. You guys can't see it, but you can when shit goes transparent. Then I'll steal his beard color from here just for shits. I don't know if it was actually gray, considering, you know, gray, black and white rendering, but it looks like it would be, so. Gray beard, gray hair. Let me add a little bit of texture, just to, bless me. Oh yeah, make sure this dweeby little swoop he's got going on is, in fact, I need to kinda exaggerate that. More swoop. More swoop. Get some nice balding going up here. Yeah, that looks about right. I'm gonna make that gray darker because it looks like almost black, but like he's just a little old. Okay, maybe a little more gray, just to show that age. Yeah, I'd say that's about... Ooh, texture in the beard. Get some swirly curlies going. Yep, that looks just about perfect in every way. It's a perfect fit. Can't tell the difference. Alrighty. Now I need to put him nice and close to me, and we're gonna be cuddling a little. Actually, no, hold on. No, he's just gonna be within arm's length. I'll be kind of gesturing it towards him. I'll be like, check out this faggot. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and overwrite the first slide, or the second slide with this. So I'm gonna have it to him, and then so when I say the word Galen, I'm gonna add the logo in, or like a little label rather. So that counts as my second. I'm gonna put on the label, and then that'll be my third. Yep. Actually, you know, I'll just put text over him. And the font I use, in case you guys were wondering, I keep my font consistent. It's always Georgia Bold. Why? Because I like them like a peach. Bold. From Georgia. Fuzzy. You can rearrange some of those words in that series of sentences and it would have been structured like a joke. Galen. Put it right above his head. Alrighty, we can export that as Galen. And I'm going to be using this picture of Galen in some subsequent frames, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that into a separate image file. And I don't think you guys can see this. I think you're still seeing the other one. But I'm in a separate GIMP window right now, just puzzling this out. It's nothing interesting. I'm just taking that little Galen and putting him to a separate file to save for later. Add alpha channel. There we go. Export Galen.ping image chunks. Okay. Guys, we got 3 whole slides done. I think that's pretty incredible progress. And how long have we been in the stream? 50 minutes? Yeah, that's why it takes me so long. Nah, just kidding. I've been like showing you my fucking spore monstrosities and reading tweets for 80% of it, so I can't really talk. Back to tweets. Kyle McEldowney says, freestyle for us. Well, a man never backs down from a challenge. Let me take a sip of Red Bull. Take a sip of Red Bull. It gives you wings. I'm drawn in GIMP, cause that's my thing. I made Galen, he's a medicine boy. He gives us all many joy. His beard is thick, just like your mom. My favorite movie from the 80s is Tron. I can't. It's too late for this. Alright, next tweet. Spooky Lukey says, do your parents know you're gay? No! I mean, yes! I mean... Harrison Whipwiener says, I don't know, it's like a weaponer. What's your end goal with YouTube? I don't have an end goal. There's no end to justify the means. I'm not Machiavelli. I'm just doing shit for fun on the internet, guy. Lighten up. Sam Hanks says, how much Red Bull / soda do you consume in a day? I've been trying to lay off soda because it's unhealthy, which, you know, that kind of fucking defeats the purpose with how many energy drinks I imbibe. I'd say, and I don't have any brand loyalty. I'll drink Amp, Red Bull, Rockstar, not Monster. Monster brings me too close to middle school, like they all kind of do in their taste, but Monster specifically, it just reminds me of the days I used to wear a fedora and listen to Skeleton Witch, so I can't. But yeah, I'd probably say like at least 5 a week, which is too much for a human, in my opinion. Scholar says you drew Galen with a fucking dick for a nose. I don't think so. That's hardly phallic. It's triangular. His real nose is more phallic than that. I'm hoping you guys can't hear all the like microscopic throat noises I'm making, belching this fucking carbonation up, but I'm sure you can hear it because I turned my mic to like double amplification, so I'm pretty sure a drop of a pin in this room can be heard, so I apologize sincerely. Kevin says, hey, he sent a whole paragraph. He said, "Hey Sam, I fucking love you. No homo. That's sweet. Yes homo." The yes homo was me saying that, and that's sweet, but that wasn't him. He says, "I made a Twitter just so I can say this. Uh, for future record, guys. As much as I appreciate the the love, and I feel it, and I give it back to you, double. Um, when I'm going through questions, it's kind of hard to sift through like whole paragraphs to find the things. Anyway, he says, "What kind of PC do you have, and what are the specs?" And he spelled it with a K for some reason. So I built my PC my freshman year of high school, and I've been upgrading it since. Right now, I am rocking. Most of my things in it are just like crap. I got like my processor. Get ready for this. It's an AMD Athlon X something. So like, it was like the bare minimum for gaming 5 years ago. It still works. Like I can still play Overwatch and anything else I need to play realistically. Um, I got 8 gigs of RAM. Woo, fancy, right? What else? Graphics card is I used to have an AMD Radeon, and that made me want to puke. So I got a 1060 with 6 gigabytes VRAM, and that's done me just fine. That's a beautiful card. Um, Power supply and motherboard, I don't even know. That's kind of irrelevant. So, yeah, there you go. On to the next question. Oh, it's my friend Danny again. Okay, I talked about this question my last stream, and let me lay down. Oh, got my back. I was gesturing with my hands just now, talking to you guys, even though I know you can't see me, because that's what I do, and I ended up hitting that back muscle I was talking about again. Jesus. He goes, "Hey dude, your chat was arguing about if traps were gay or not," and that's exactly what I would expect from my chat. I know my fans. He says, "Can you answer the holy question, are traps gay?" Well, that's a complicated question. If it's a male with a trap, then yes. Absolutely. There's no vaginas in the room, then that's clearly 100% gay. However, and if it's two traps against each other, same thing goes. However, I subscribe to the philosophy that if it's a trap and a female, it's actually less gay than heterosexual porn. Because all you're doing is taking the male half of that and making it less male. So logically, if heterosexual porn is straight and lesbian porn is straight, then everything on the spectrum in between, by, the law of intermediates, mathematically, it must be straight. I hope that clears something up. Head says, "Stop being a trap apologist." I won't. I'll never back down from what I believe. Kyle McEldowney says, oh yeah, this guy asked me to freestyle. He says, "Why don't you upgrade your mic?" I actually have a decent mic. It cost me a good like 150. The problem is the room I'm in. I'm in, a square dorm with, nothing on the walls to prevent echo. And I'm also kind of far away from the mic, which is why it sounds like garbage. If I were to improve my environment that I record in, it would help the quality immensely, but alas, no such luck for the man who doesn't even open GIMP for a month and a half. Can't expect me to renovate my dorm. Let's see. Let me check my mentions, because I've just been looking at DMs this whole time. Ooh, the Dank Vault Dweller says, who do you main in Overwatch? You guys are gonna hate me for this. I main, not Symmetra. I'm sure that was your first thought. And Bastion was your second. But your third thought was Junkrat, and that is correct. I am a Junkrat main. He's my number 1. Number 2 is Lucio. Number 2 is a tie between Lucio and Pharah. And then number 3, below that, is a tie between Roadhog and Zenyatta. Those are my overall go-tos. I used to main Roadhog, but then he turned to shit, so I stopped. But then he got good again, so I'm thinking about picking him back up. I don't know. Spooky fucking Ghost says, Salmonella, what is your favorite emoji? I actually don't know off the top of my head, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into messages and I'm going to look at my recent used ones and just see which one appeals to me most. Oh yeah, it's probably, it's kind of a toss-up between African American hand waving and 3 water droplets. 3 water droplets is a classic to just spam when somebody says something mildly, gives you a little bit of a tickle. And then black waving hand is just off-putting enough coming from a skinny white guy that it kind of makes people say what, but like they don't mention it. So whenever somebody says hi, I just send them the black wave. Anyway, back to Twatter. I'll do like 2 more and then I'll go on to the next frame here. Sam O'Meem says, any era in human history you feel like we could have fixed a lot of problems with one simple trick? Well, the thing about, I could answer this with a joke, but I can't think of one off the top of my head, so I'm going to go the serious route. The thing about most events in history, actually I take that back. I was going to say most of them had like a lot of factors going into them, so like one little thing wouldn't do it. But I think the Spanish-American War, if you could just go to the USS Maine, because for those of you who don't know, it basically started because one U.S. ship near, it was either Cuba or Puerto Rico, I can't remember, I think it was Puerto Rico, one U.S. ship basically shit the bed and fucking exploded, and the U.S. thought Spain sunk the ship with like a mine or something, and that's basically what ignited the war, despite, there were tensions before that of course, but that's what did it. So if you could just go there and make the captain get his act together so his ship doesn't fucking blow up spontaneously, that would solve some issues. A green gay retard says, bruh, do you listen, and he has all of his words individually capitalized like Jaden Smith, I appreciate that. He says, bruh, do you listen to Vaporwave? Of course I do. I actually have a shirt of Floral Shop by Macintosh Plus. I have that as a shirt that I wear in public. That's the kind of person I am. He goes, what's your favorite song? Probably Teen Pregnancy by Blank Banshee. It's not well known enough to be a total meme like 420 is, but it's a good song. It just kind of makes me laugh too. He says, "Can you play Macintosh Plus 420 over the stream?" I won't do that, but I will play the one I'm talking about, just because I want you guys to hear it. Hopefully I don't get like copyright struck or something. I don't really know how that works for streams. God, my back. Is this what it's like being old? I feel so bad. I should buy my mother flowers every day. And I'm gonna play it in my desktop, and I'm pretty sure it will translate through the the stream. Actually, you know what I can do? I can just play it out of my actual speakers instead. That's what I'll do. Alright. Blank Banshee teen pregnancy. Is that picking up on the mic? As I should be able to hear it like faintly in the background. You guys should let me know if I should like adjust the volume on it, because I don't know how well it's picking up, but it also could be echoing because it might be picking up my desktop and it my mic at the same time. I don't know.
I'm just a kid.
Okay, people are saying it's not playing, or Kevin anyway. I don't know. Boy.
Just a little mistake.
Saying it's not faintly at all. Does that mean it's loud enough?
Just a little mistake.
Okay, anyway. I'll do like one more question and then I'll keep doodling. Kenny says, who's your favorite artist? If we're talking like visual artists, like a painter, I'd have to go with Dali. His works always speak to me. I'm a big fan of surrealism. If we're talking music, probably Queensryche.
I'm
If you've
just
ever
a
heard of
kid.
it. It's like a power metal band in the 80s. My taste in music is total shit, but I enjoy it a lot. The album Operation Mindcrime is a damn masterpiece, and I don't care who disagrees. Pingu says, I'm always aroused by your voice, thank you. Could you take a moment to whisper lovely nothings on the stream for me? Oh, Kraus is music too loud. Yeah, it could also actually be playing like into the stream from my desktop. I think that is what it was doing. So let me see if I can adjust that. Okay. Alright. Tell me if you guys can still hear the music. 'Cause, I want to see, I don't have it playing out of my speakers anymore, but it's still playing on the desktop, and I turned it down a bunch, relatively, so please tell me if you can hear it. Oh, it just ended. I'll keep it going, just for the sake. Oh man, you guys can hear me
I'm
for the past
just a
like minute.
kid.
It's embarrassing. Please let me know if it's okay now.
Just a
Still
little
too loud?
mistake. Just a little mistake.
It's just a little mistake.
Okay, hold on. Alright, what about now? I was trying to... Okay, I see what I did wrong. I was trying to adjust it in OBS, but apparently you can't put a decimal for the volume, so it just kept setting it back to 1. But I turned it down in YouTube, and so now I think it should be okay. Can you guys hear me alright? Please tweet at me, let me know. I can look at chat actually, hold on. I hope people didn't like leave over that. Oh yeah, I can see it like slowly started dipping. Actually no, yeah, oh yeah, in the past like 2 minutes I lost like 50. I'm seeing a bunch of yeah. Alright, I'm seeing much better. So the volume's not too loud, not too quiet, it's perfect? Okay, cool. My bad, guys. Yeah, the viewership definitely dipped there. Oh man, more super chats. You guys are so sweet. I don't know how much a NOK is worth, but nonetheless, I value it. I value you, Presh, in general. Thank you. People are saying the music's still loud. Yeah, I'm just gonna turn it off. I already proved my point, so that's okay. Yeah, it's kind of an obnoxious song anyway. Alright, so hopefully we're fine now. Okay, what was I gonna do? Yes, drawing, right, that's what I'm here for. Okay, next line in the script, let's take a look. Alright, so the next frame's just gonna have Galen sitting there by his lonesome. Get rid of me, get rid of this. Move Galen to the center. Looks about right. I kind of feel like I should add more to this because I'm talking about how he's. Well, I don't want to reveal anything. Yeah, that'll be good for this slide. And I'll do the next one too, just because that's like super low effort. And now for this part, I need to draw a Barbary ape, which is a type of primate critter. I need to, actually let me do the reference image in the thing so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Barbary ape. This is basically like a snow monkey looking thing. There you go. Beautiful. Now we're going to create a new layer for my ape. He's going to be a little boy. He's going to go. I'm going to make him look super dumb, like, I'm going to give him like a disjointed puppet mouth. It's coming along pretty nicely, I think. Get those eyes going. He's gonna be a little puzzled. He's gonna be. to heck. Ape. His hair kind of comes up like this. And this is way too large, so I'm gonna scale it down once I'm done. Maybe give him more of a nose instead of just slits. Let's not make him bamboozled, let's just make him a dumb ape. Dumb ape face. He's gonna have big soulful eyes though. Let's put him like way up here. No. Put him like... His mouth is gonna be hanging open like a mouth breather. Get a nice dark shade going. There we go. I'm gonna make his face just kind of extend outward like this. And there we go. There's our ape. No, hold on. Just give him a tube for a face. And make him like that fucker from Spirited Away. Beautiful. Okay. No, alright. What if I made it like ape? Man's predecessor. No, okay. Actual face. He's gonna have his little fists on the floor. The monkey's fist. The monkey. They're gonna be balled up right down here. And that's gonna descend, and his legs are gonna be... What do a monkey's legs look like? Yeah, he's gonna have a knee kind of back here. He's gonna have a foot. And his other foot's gonna be coming down. It's gonna be right here. So that's gonna be bent forward like that. And this is jelly bean-like monkey body. I think this leg should actually be more substantiated. I think this doesn't... I don't think this geometrically works. I think I'm creating the monkey equivalent of the impossible triangle here. But that looks about right. He looks kind of kawaii though, because his head's like so much larger. I'm going to fix this foot real quick. I'm going to kind of have it splay outward so it looks more like a foot, and also so it looks derpy. I think that's the first time I've used the word derpy since 2014. I apologize, everyone here. It's gonna have nice ape toes. Yeah. You have some ape toes over here. Yeah. Okay, let me make this haunch more like into his side rather than just like sticking off his jelly bean body. There we go. That's a good ape. I'm gonna adjust the proportions real quick, and so GIMP has this thing called iWarp that's basically like the liquify tool in Photoshop. So I can just kind of adjust some of these size things going on here. So make his head's, oh shit, I'm gonna make his head smaller. You guys can't see it, I'm in a different window right now. You'll see the result. Make his body bigger. There we go. The lines look kind of gross, but no, whatever. That look about right? Yeah. Alright, gotta get that beautiful tawny fur. That looks good. Gotta get that pink face. Actually, I might just leave the face white and just for shock value, or whatever you call that. And some pink hands. Pink feet. Let's make him kind of like terrified. He's seen some shit. No. Okay, let's make the corners. I don't want it this disjointed. I want it kind of like. Hey. There we go. He's like saying, "Oh." So let's make it more of like a slivery, like half open. And clean this crap up. Yeah. It has like a strange human quality to it. I think I like that. I think he gets the point across. Let me bend his nostrils the other way. They don't go like that. They don't go up. They're oblique. You see? They go like this. That's how he smell. I want to give him that furrowed brow of a hairline. Probably gonna, let me kind of shrink this head down. It's looking kind of afro-esque. And I'm gonna get that. What does it look like? Yeah, there we go. That's a good ape. That's a good ape right there. Nice little descender. And then, just for shits, I'm gonna make this like, yeah, I like that. It looks like he has an empty cranium. He's just kind of a face. He doesn't have higher level thinking like us Homo sapiens. He's just kind of a dent. Okay, let me make that a little. Let me just make that flat because that just looks strange. Just nice horizontal surface. Nice and flat. He's got a gyroscope in his head. He can put a fucking coffee mug on it. That's a beautiful ape. I'm gonna add some little like fur things. Just to actually let me bring down the point on those. Get him nice and hairy. It looks kind of strange. Let me add some shading, just for the illusion of quality. And it's going to be incorrect shading. I'm just going to make parts darken later. You're really supposed to change the hue alongside it when you're doing like real art, but this is street rules. We don't play by that. Alright, ready for this? So those monkey bodies down here, it's gonna need some darkness. And I'll make like this inner part. And then this little slope back here. Actually, you know what? This back part. And then kind of under his face a little bit. And then I'm gonna lighten up this side. Because that's in the sun. He's basking his monkey back. Monkey got back. And suddenly that looks slightly better. I'll do the same for the face and hands. And the back hands, aka feet. Get those knuckles nice and shaded. Actually, you know what? Let me do the proper thing that I was saying earlier. I noticed that I wouldn't, but I'm gonna do some like, there we go. You get the flesh tones kind of in the shadows. Gives some nice sallow eyes. That's a fine ape. Let me fix this little bit up here. It's a shit. Clicked out of the window. Let me fix this bit up here. It's annoying me. Yeah. And we're gonna repair that. The Barbary ape in all its glory. I'm gonna adjust the hue on that a little bit just to make it, not hue, like lightness. Just to get a little more of a realistic quality. He looks depressed now. Oh. There we go, that looks good. The Barbary ape. Okay, I liked the weird face before, but now it's bothering me. Let me eye warp that just to make it slightly more, dare I say, realistic. Okay, and let me put that line at its former thickness, just for good measure. Perch it upon his Galen head. Now I'm going to put it right next to him. I'm going to put his hand. It's going to be caressing the monkey's empty, useless skull. My boy. Put him a layer above so it can kind of... my child. It looks like Michael Jackson. A hee hee. Anyway. Gonna export that to an image. And now we will check Twitter and YouTube chat because I don't want to leave you guys out. Ninja Chicken Studios says, that's a lot of effort for Microsoft Paint. Fuck you, it's GIMP. I'm not a peasant. RJ says, I don't really think we need a tutorial on how to copy paste. Blow me. Okay, YouTube chat is full of negativity. I'm going back to Twitter. Alrighty. Give me one moment. I'm opening up Twitter. Do I have any more Red Bulls in the fridge? No, I don't. I only had 2 and I've exhausted them. Mentions. At Salmonella, make more sounds to make the mic boom. Is that happening? I have my pop filter up. It's right in front of it, and I'm also like not even talking directly into it. Unless you're talking about the videos. Steve Atkinson says, "Is it snowing where you live?" Where I live, we speak American, and it is October, so through deduction, it is most likely not snowing outside. Um, haven't looked in a few hours, but I'd imagine not. Bolo says, "Are you using a mouse to draw?" Yes, I am. I actually bought a bamboo tablet a while ago, and I just couldn't get used to it. It made shit too difficult. Because I couldn't get... Because you know how they have those weird settings where, like, it sets your thickness for you based on pressure? I tried using that to make things look cleaner, and it just ended up gross. Because I'm so used to drawing with my mouse at this point that it's like... I don't feel like adjusting. I'd probably have more skill in the end with that if I tried, but for now, I'm leaning on my crutch. Oh man. At a writer on the Toads. I'm so honored. I can't believe somebody made a Twitter account because of that dumb video I made. He goes, "When are you going to do a live cover of Riders on the Toad? That would really make my toad wet." Someday, my friend, someday. Name, question mark, says, "If you had a time machine, what time would you travel to?" 5 seconds ago when I didn't have to waste my time reading that question. No, just kidding, I love you. Shit, man. I mean, being a stick figure American, I can't really go past the 60s without people lynching me and shit, so... my options are pretty limited. I'd probably go back to the 80s, or the no, you know what? I'd go back to the 70s and see ZZ Top in concert for their first time, and stare at their beards. Not that I even listen to ZZ Top, but I think they're 70s, right? Who knows? I'm a millennial. I don't need that knowledge. Scholar 2014. This isn't a question, it just made me laugh. I didn't want you guys left out. He tweeted me a picture of the thing mid-drawing of the monkey face. And just like... I'm sorry. I shouldn't be sitting here laughing at my own drawings. What a fucking conceited prick. He, of like the monkey face and just like the rounded off body with no limbs, and he goes, "You called this thing a fucking ape." Like he was angry at me for saying that. Alright, Polito goes, oh, he's typing now, he'll hear me in a few seconds. Polito goes, "Are you a ginger? Because you strike me as soulless." I get that a lot, Polito. The soulless part, not the ginger. No, I am freckleless, with the exception of 3 freckles. I won't tell you where they are, but I'll let you find them. Going through. Oh, okay. Medus Adolescent says, the music was really loud, and okay, so this was like referencing back when that I had that shit blaring unknowingly. My apologies once again. He said, "I heard something about Operation Mindcrime. Care to re-elaborate?" I think he's a fellow Queensryche fan. So yeah, somebody asked me my favorite artists. I didn't know if they meant music or art. So for music, I said Queensryche, a wonderful band from the 80s. And I mentioned their hit album, Operation Mindcrime. It's like a 45-minute album with like, I think 10 or 11 songs, and they're all good on their own, but like in order, they actually make a narrative of like this dystopian, like, I don't want to say cyberpunk, but like, just like 80s futurism, not in the sense of technology, but in the sense of like the descent of society. And it's like, it's really cool. I enjoy it a lot. It's worth a listen. Refreshing. Bolo says, at Salmonella, do you have a Discord server? I do. I didn't make it, somebody else made it, but I have one. I think I've linked it at some point. I should start putting it in my descriptions, but it's definitely out there. I'll tweet a link to that at some point, because there's some nice people there. My boy Kevin, my boy Dr. Pig, and others. Kev Yang, I just watched It. What did you think of it? I haven't seen it yet. I'm really mad at myself. I need to, because I liked the original a lot. I mean, like, not as a horror film, but just as a film overall. It just kind of made me giggle. But I think I'd enjoy the new one, judging by the trailers. Not that trailers are everything to judge by these days, but regardless. Mr. Thoughts goes, are you Roman Catholic? I am neither Roman nor Catholic, unfortunately. For a while I debated converting to a Roman, but never to a Catholic. What can I say? I like Ballast Day, and they say you can't own one if you're not a real Roman. Same way, Gentiles can't make Jew jokes. Same thing. No. Name says, favorite YouTuber? Question mark. The singular channel I watch the most, and I hate myself for saying this aloud, but it is a Let's Play channel. It's the only Let's Play channel I ever watch. I'd ever be caught dead watching. It's Oni Plays, with Chris O'Neill, the dude who did like every internet cartoon ever, and a couple buddies. And it is like the only Let's Play that like just consistently makes me laugh with like just absurd shit. I really it's an inspiration to me. Yup says, at Salmonella, do you like pineapple on pizza? I do. A lot of people detest it, and I can understand that, because it's, what pineapple's all about and what pizza's all about is a total clash. You got your salty savories with your sweet and juicies. It's but you know what they say, opposites attract. By the way, as a side note, that whole opposites attract thing does not work in relationships. People like reference that as though like in basic electrophysics and relations with people are related in any way, as though they're making some kind of scientific point. They're wrong. I'm speaking from experience here. Shego says, favorite suicide method. Okay, so this is something I read on the internet a while ago. I didn't come up with this, but it made me laugh. So what you do is you get some cheese wire, right? And that's wire used to cut cheese. It's very strong, very thin. You tie that around your neck, right? You climb up to a high place, and then, and this part is crucial, you have to super glue your hands to the sides of your head. And then when you jump off from sufficiently high enough, the cheese wire will go entirely through your neck, decapitating you, and you will fall to the ground holding your head in your own hands. So when people look at you, it'll look like you just got mad and fucking ripped your own head off. And that's what they'll think. That's what you gotta do. or don't do. But if you're past the point of no return, then go for it, man. No, not really. I do not condone suicide. Let the record show that I think human life is valuable. Controversial opinion. Alright. These Red Bulls have shot through me like a Red Bull shooting through a body. I'm gonna go take a quick restroom break. In the meantime, I'm gonna put on some light music, and I won't be talking over it this time. So you guys can just enjoy it for what it is. I'm gonna hopefully turn it down pretty low. But yeah, I'll be back in just a minute once I set this up. This is like this random like folk song that for some reason I can't get out of my head. This is an ad. Don't pay attention to this. Alright, I'll be back. That's a good tune. I like the music video for it because it's like a jazz folk quartet doing this little like routine thing, but like every few seconds it flicks to them in an entirely different location, but they're doing the exact same thing. It's hard to describe, but you should look it up. It's a good vid. Good vid. Alejandro Valdez is quoting me incorrectly. I didn't say genitals can't make Jew jokes. I said gentiles, which is the term for non-Jews. Thank you. That I learned a week ago from a Jew. I did wash my hands. Thank you, Soikaitea. Alright, I'll answer like 2 more questions and then next slide. No. A lot of these are more rhetorical than anything. Let me just sift through. Let me look at YouTube chat, see what you guys are saying. Ben Dover says, "Hey Sam, am I cute? .3. I thought you were, and then you hit me with the dumb fucking cat emoticon or whatever that's supposed to be, and I lost all feeling." All American Idiots 101. What dating advice would you give a college kid? Well, being that I am a YouTuber, I think I am the wrong person to be asking about that. However, I've found in practice, in high school, I haven't been in college long, but in high school, things started looking up after I really just stopped trying and just started doing my own thing. And working on self-improvement, go to the gym a little, look people in the eyes when you talk to them. Eventually shit works out. So, just do that. Easy breezy beautiful. Okay, how many questions? Was that two? I'll do one more. Danny Tyler Downer says, would you ever consider doing a collab with CGP Grey? I don't. People always say that about doing collabs and crossovers with other YouTubers, and it's like, what would we do? Our styles differ, our narrative ways. It would just clash if we tried making a video together, unless it was just us doing something entirely unrelated. That's the only way I could foresee something being entertaining. A little story about that. Somebody tweeted something about me and Casually Explained doing a collab or something like that, and Casually Explained liked it, and then I liked it, and I'm pretty sure people thought that meant something. I'm pretty sure a lot of people ended up thinking that something was in the works, or that we've at least corresponded, Casually and I, when in reality I have never talked to the man, not at any point, and there's nothing in the works whatsoever. So if you're one of those few people that saw that tweet, then I don't want you to be disappointed. I know I said one more question, but this one tickled my fancy. Sam O'Meem, once again, he's been killing it tonight. He's got lots of good inquiries. What unethical experiment would have the biggest positive impact on society as a whole? Gotta get that eugenics! Anyway, back to drawing. Alright, so for this next one, I'm just labeling this monkey for what it is. I'm sorry, it's not a monkey, it's an ape. Thanks. Everyone in Overwatch, calling Winston monkey. You're fucking scientifically incorrect. Your IQ is so low, you don't even understand Rick and Morty. I can't stand it. He doesn't have a tail. He has the brain of a man, the body of a hominid. Not a hominid, technically. You know what I meant. Not bar baby. It's the bar baby ip. That's him. Barbary. The barber boy ape. Barbary ape. That's him. I'm going to put that little label. We're going to put a little arrow. Pointing down. It's a disgusting arrow. I'm going to eye warp that arrow to smooth out my human imperfections. Make it a little more cartoony. There we go. And we're going to put some gold in that. Some desaturated gold, as is typical for salmonella arrows. Let's make it a little less saturated even. Barbary ape. Move that around a little. Barbary ape. Barbarian ape. Barbie ape. Ape. I'm going to title that BarbieApe.png. Putting them shrimp on the Barbary. You know how it'd be. Alright, that's the slide. Let's keep going. A green gay retard, once again, he says, are you a fan of Bill Wirtz? Yes, he's a very good boy. He did, the history of the world, I guess. He's a talented musician. I liked him back before he got big, back when he just did little 10-second jingles about random offbeat shit. I like him. Also, have you played Cuphead? Everyone is talking about Cuphead. I don't... Pardon me, but I don't see, like... I guess the gameplay's good. I hear people say it's the Dark Souls of platformers. Or maybe that's just a meme, I don't know. Supposedly the gameplay is good. And I like the art style, I like the way it looks, I like the vintage, like 20s, 30s cartoon look. But, goddamn, there's a lot of hype about Cuphead. I have not seen such hype over a random indie question mark. I don't know if it's considered indie, I don't know who published it. Haven't seen this kind of hype over a random platformer that, like, actually substantiated something good after the thing came out. The only thing that comes close is Yooka-Laylee, but everyone hated that because it didn't live up to their childhood fantasies of Banjo-Kazooie. And the game was fine, but it's because nostalgia is a thing of the past that can't be accurately recaptured. And you're all sad adults. That's the only reason why Yooka-Laylee faced such disdain. But I digress. Joven Salis, I don't know. He says, "What's your favorite Aesop fable?" My favorite one, I don't know if this is Aesop. I think it is. It's the one about the scorpion and the something that can swim. I forget exactly. It's the scorpion and the turtle. No, it can't be a turtle because he stings him in the back, and that wouldn't make sense if it was a turtle. I'm gonna look it up. The scorpion and the frog, I believe. Yeah, it is a Oh no, that's not an Aesop fable. According to Wikipedia, that emerged in 1954. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So what it is like a scorpion needs to cross a lake, and a frog is there, or it's I think a river. So what the fuck? Who cares? So he goes up to the frog and he's like, "Hey, can I get transport on your back?" And the frog said, "No, you're a dirty fucking arachnid that kills people. I don't associate with your kind." And the scorpion says, "Please," and the frog was like, "Okay." So the scorpion hops on the amphibian, and off they go across the river. Oh no, a crucial part of the scorpion's argument is, if I sting you, we would both die because it's a river, and that's how drowning works. So he used logic, and the frog was like, "That sounds good to me." So he hops on the frog's back, they're crossing the river, and then midway through he stings the shit out of the frog. And the frog goes, "Why did that happen?" And the scorpion says, "It was in my nature." Now, I don't know what the intended moral of that story is, but to me it sounds like a bunch of racist, anti-Semitic gobbledygook. And I think it's really funny that we tell this story to children as though they're supposed to, like, get some point out of it. Because I remember, I think it was my creative writing teacher in freshman year, she told us that, and she was asking us about the morals, and I raised my hand and said, I was like, "That sounded kind of anti-Semitic, Miss Pro." And she gave me a dirty look. She goes, "Not at all. That is not what the story is about." To this day, I'm none the wiser. I don't. Supposedly, there's like some wholesome meaning to be found there. Anyway, moving on. Aaron Friedman says, "If your dick was suddenly replaced with a cockroach, would you kill it?" And then in parentheses he goes, "Cockroach feels cockroach levels of pain, aka sensitive. I would not kill it, I would keep it alive as a pet. For a couple reasons. First of all, I'm not going to be... I'd have no drawbacks to keeping it alive, really, because I'm either going to have a live cockroach dick or a dead cockroach dick. Like, that's not going to improve my quality of life whatsoever if I choose to kill it. Second of all, it would be like a pet that goes everywhere with me when I go, you know. I'll be at KFC eating my mashed potatoes. I'll take a little dab on my finger and tuck it in my pants for the cockroach to feast on. And then when the nuclear holocaust happens and the bomb drops, I will sleep soundly knowing that although my human body will die, my dick will live on. Immortal. So there's your answer. Shago says, do you prefer gas or rocket fuel? I don't know what that means. If it's for a vehicle, then rocket fuel. It's very efficient, burns cleanly. If it's for huffing, then gas. There's a lot more particulates. It's more volatile. Better head rush overall. And I've huffed a lot of rocket fuel, so I got an accurate comparison. Huffing rocket fuel. It gives you wings. Sponsored by Red Bull. I should drink rocket fuel to see what happens. I wonder if anyone's ever died from, because I'd imagine, actually, to my knowledge, most rockets run off of a combination of just burning hydrogen and oxygen together, which isn't like so much of I mean, it is fuel, but it's not like the typical image of rocket fuel, like highly processed petroleum products or whatever. But like, I wonder if anyone's ever died from drinking some such substance, like jet fuel, something that like only a few people would have access to begin with. Because obviously people have died from drinking gasoline, you know, statistically speaking, other people have access to it. At least like 3 rednecks have tried drinking it because they ran out of moonshine. Alright, I'll do one more question and then we'll do the next thing. Samo Meme says, start a GoFundMe to drink rocket fuel. Someone's gotta make it happen. I'm gonna start a Kickstarter. A little xylophone in the background and guitar playing. Hi, I'm Salmonella. For far too long, human beings have not known the effects of rocket fuel on the body, and I feel this is a field of study that humans can advance easily. With a small donation of $30,000, I will purchase a pint of kerosene and drink it on stream, but I need your help. Please, just take a minute of your time to donate me a mere $5. It's really no more than a cup of coffee. And if you can spare a cup of coffee, then I can surely spare a cup of kerosene. Thank you. And then I'll drink it on stream, except it won't be kerosene. It'll just be Mountain Dew, because they probably look the same. And I'll be like, it's fine. Everyone, I feel so energized. I've discovered the effects. It makes you powerful. And then like 30 autists will die from drinking kerosene because they'll believe me, and then I'll go to jail for some reason. Dank Vault Dweller says, I'm so tired, but I feel the need to listen to your stream. You're sweet. I'm actually getting pretty tired too. It's 1:55 a.m. You can probably hear it in my voice. Of course, I always sound like that, but yeah, I think at 2:30 I'll call it quits. So another half hour ish. 2:30 EST. I don't know what time zone you guys are in. Alright, next frame. I got my Barbary ape. And this ape is going to be doing a thing with a button and a peanut. Let me put this ape in another file real quick just to save it. In a different window currently. Uh, give me just a few more seconds. Export that ape sun. Image chunks. What's this? Oh yeah, okay. Barbie ape dot png. Very good. I exported the fuck out of that ape. Alright, Galen, die. Shit. Die. Alright. Ape. Get big or go home. Crop it. Oh. There we go. Just had to crop the layer. I'm going to do a background for this one. This is going to be just like a basic lab, but I'm going to make it all blurry so I don't have to draw in any details. So I'll do like some nice perspective here. Alright, and I'm going to do some like slightly bluish grays in the background. So like a little less bluish even. Just like a very slight like slate cobalt-ish. Alright, and then we're going to blur the background. And those lines will disappear, and it'll look like an actual background that's just been out of focus because we're so focused on the ape. There we go. Actually, you know what I can do? I can do some like cool perspective stuff, right? So like, because this is closer to the camera, so I can give the illusion of depth by blurring the stuff back here more than this up here. Give me just a moment. These are some real advanced techniques here. I'll add a little more, just for good measure. There we go. The ape. You know, let's like do just a shit ton. No, okay, too much. Yeah, that's a good background. I'll even add a little shadow for our ape. There we go. Ah, photorealism. I'm gonna make a little platform. And it's got a button on it for the ape to push. Big delicious red button. And this is going to be that weird like off-white like old toilet cover color. I can't even say words. That's how exhausted I am. There we go. And for the sake of shading, I'll adjust that slightly for the bottom and sides. And this will be its own gray. And we'll add some shading to this just to spruce it up a little, make it look like a rounded button. Bouton. Something seems not right about it. I think it's a little too organic looking. I'm gonna round out some of those edges in iWarp real quick. Alright, give me a sec. This is a struggle. One dougal of a struggle. Actually, what if I make it the buttons like glowing, so that way it looks like it's a button. I'll do that, and then put a little halo of red around it. Okay, that looks like shit. Hold on. This would be like bright red. These selections. Okay, I need to make this look like... Damn it. Stop. Okay, make this not so dark. So in fact, just remove that shading, just like that, but then not that much. So bring that down slightly. There we go. Button. And you know what? Let's add a little more of a halo. A little more of a... yeah. Nice glowing bouton. And we'll add some of that down here. Okay, too much. Okay, that's a good thing. Good ape. DigBic96 sent me a picture of somebody eating rice with ketchup and what appears to be some sort of stew, but then they threw a bunch of chocolate chip cookies on top of it. That is very non-aesthetic. Vive Luna has a question. She's typing. He or she. How many people are still watching this? Still 350. That's impressive. Let me check a super chat. Oh, you guys are sweet. Video Game Boy 64, thank you. Fernando Fernandez. Can you please screech comedy again? Oh man, it's quiet hours, dude. The RAs will get on my shit. I would if it was daytime, but I can't right now. Mason Codes. Check me out on SoundCloud. Look up Lil Ak. Or Lil AK, I guess. You guys can do that. I might do that later. Not right at this moment, though. Y'all are good boys. Alright, live chat. Blue Orb says, dude, where'd the Q&A? Yeah, I wasn't answering questions while drawing. Sorry. Face reveal when? Face reveal... I've already done a face reveal. You've seen it. It's in every one of my videos. I am a stick figure. I thought I made this pretty clear. I put my two-dimensional face in a scanner, and it popped out on the computer like that. Hmm. Okay. Back to Twatter. Olivia Doherty says favorite poem? Question mark. Well, I'm not a faggot, so I don't read poetry. But if I did, it would be that this one. Ah, crap. I forget what it was called. I performed it for my creative writing class because we had to like do a reading of some like known poem, and it was this weird like Edgar Allan Poe thing about angels watching people die on a stage. I know that's like not information that anyone can use to find it, but do what thou wilt. Somebody's coughing like a fucking tuberculoid outside my door. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Samo meme. What meme never fails to make you laugh, not counting the one of existence? The thing about memes is, by the time they become memes, they're already not funny anymore. I mean, there's a brief period, but like, I'm trying to think of one that like actually cracked my shit up, because I feel like there were a few, like initially. Um, Back when that whole "whoa" meme, you know, the crash thing, that used to just be a joke on Oni Plays, and not like a well-known thing. And back then, before it was a meme, it was really funny, for no good reason at all. It was the dumbest shit ever, but it was still really funny. And then everyone took it and ran with it without even like knowing where it was from, and then it lost its appeal. I really like the copy pasta about not having a high enough IQ to understand Rick and Morty, because I, ever since Rick and Morty got like big, I've been seeing like unironic shit like that all over the place. So it feels me. I liked Rick and Morty. I still do like it, but it's just the fandom has gotten disgusting ever since season 2. The Dank Vault Dweller. If you fought in World War I, which country would you fight for? I would fight for the Ethiopians, 'cause they had it rough. And I'd get to see giraffes and shit, which is a plus. Did the Ethiopians participate in World War I? I don't know. Probably not. And I think they did in World War II, but the Rightful Kaiser, most underrated and overrated Civ 5 factions. That's a good cue, my guy. I don't really know too much about community opinion, except for that everyone circle jerks about how Poland is OP as shit, and they're correct. Poland is extremely. Underrated, probably the Huns. In most games I play, people hate me because I always rush bronze working and go crazy with battering rams. So like by the time I'm in the classical era, I've always taken at least like one capital. Overrated. I don't know if Iroquois are overrated, but I fucking hate the Iroquois. They're the worst civ in the game. So there's that. Any of the civs that rely on like inferior tiles, so like the Celts, the Iroquois, they're both about forest, which is shit you end up clearing in the late game, or even early game, if you're smart. So it's like the marginal advantage to keeping it around. It's like, it's not worth it. Underrated, what's the one, I think it's the Byzantines that give you an extra religious belief. Not very powerful, but at the same time, it allows for potentially really fun scenarios. Like, there's a way you can win in the Renaissance with tourism by like taking advantage of that and just buying the shit out of like every religious building and then getting this one Protestant belief. I'm getting a little too deep into the meta of Civ 5 for like people who don't play it, so that's my 2 cents. Alright, I know I said it ended at like 2:30, but I'm like fucking exhausted. So I'm gonna call it quits, you guys. Hope you've enjoyed these whole 7 frames amounting literally to like 10 seconds of video that you watch me draw of this ape. But I'm gonna hit the hay. Stay frosty, everyone. Don't stop being crazy. I will see you later.